Good morning. I want to ask you the question: how many chances do you give somebody who continues to mess up? And the reason that I want to ask this question is because I have been watching this document called Daughters. I'm watching this document called Daughters, and it's on Netflix. And I encourage you, if you haven't watched this documentary, I would first and foremost, I'm going to tell everybody to go and watch this documentary. It's a documentary that you need to watch, especially if you have a troubled youth, especially if you have men in your life who are, maybe going down the wrong path, maybe went down the wrong path, some men in your life that need a redemption story or have a redemption story. It's a beautiful story to watch, and it puts a lot of things into perspective as it relates to redemption, the decisions that we make, and how the decisions that we make not only affect us, but they also affect a lot of the people that are around us. I think this is important because majority of the time we only consider ourselves and our decision making, and we don't necessarily consider the people who could also be affected by the decisions that we make, which is why we oftentimes find ourselves making selfish decisions. And when you make selfish decisions, the only person that suffers is us, or the person that's making the decisions, so we think. But life will teach us that we are not the only ones that suffer when we make poor decisions. It's the people that surround us that suffer. It's the people that love us that suffer. It's the people that work for us and work with us. Everybody around us suffers when we make poor decisions through lack of discipline, through flaws in character. We're not the only ones who suffer. And in the documentary Daughters, what I saw a lot of fathers who made selfish decisions because they believed what they were doing was beneficial for their family, when actually, because they got caught, they actually caused more harm to their family than good the street life had ever brought them. And it's interesting to me because, what's up, everybody? Appreciate y'all coming in. It's interesting to me because these young girls, the youngest one was about 5 years old to the oldest one that was about 15, 16 years old, who had never seen, who just didn't have visits with their dads and weren't allowed touch visits with their dad. And you see how these young girls are hurting, and you see how they're affecting them. You see how they affect their their thought process on being moms, and their thought processes on being being wives to men. It affected their thought process so much that one young girl, she even said, I would never be a mom. You can pay me $1 million and I would never be a mom. Now, sure, this is probably hyperbole, but if you think about the reason why a young would say this, is because her experience of being a mom is seen through her mom's experience of being a mom. And how she sees her mom, she said in the documentary, there's like a devil inside of her. And she was a lot happier when my dad was home, but there's like a devil inside of her now, and she's not happy all the time. And when you think about that feeling for the young girl, that her mom is just never happy, her mom's not going to be happy because of the decisions that the dad is making. And it's sad. And what I did was I watched this documentary with the young men that I work with at the juvenile detention centers, and many of them don't have children at the age that they are right now, which isn't surprising. Many of them don't have children. But I said, if children can feel this way about their dad's decisions, meaning The little girl, again, she said, I would never be a mom. But then she also said, if you go back to jail, I'm not going to shed one tear. I'm not shed one single tear. If you go back to jail again, I'm not going to shed one single tear. And what that tells me is that he's been in and out of jail for a lot of her life. She was 10 years old at this time. He's been in and out of jail a lot of her life. And he even admitted at the end of the documentary that he never spent more than 6 months out of jail. By the time he was out of jail for 6 months, he was locked right back up again. And this affected her. And she said that it's affected me. And some people will look at that situation and they'll say, oh, that's the mom talking. No, it's not the mom talking. We underestimate what our children pay attention to and how much they learn and how much they take away from what we do as parents. We underestimate those things. We really do. We severely underestimate what our children are taking away from what we do and what they're learning based off of what we do. I mean, I see it every day. My son's 2 years old. I see it every single day. My son, I see him, and he's always copying everything that me and his mom does, particularly me. He sees everything that I do, and he wants to do the same exact thing. Just at 2 years old, we are our parents, we are our children's first lesson of what's up, appreciate it. Thank you for coming in. We are our children's example of what it means to be human, of the type of person they should be. And if our kids don't grow up to be the person that we desire them to be, then we only have ourselves to blame for that. And so she doesn't want anything to do. She says, if you keep going back to jail, the next time you go back to jail, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to shed one tear. So I asked them the question, the same question I posed to you all at the beginning of this live stream. How many chances do you give someone before you wash your hands with them? Now, in most cases, it would depend on who the person is. Okay, sure. It depends on who the person is. But if it's your child, how many opportunities do you give your child to mess up before you say, I gotta let you figure this thing out on your own? Or is there an age, is there a cutoff where you say, you know what, I gotta let you figure this out on your own? You keep getting in trouble, you keep doing what you know you're not supposed to do, and I don't want to give up on you, but do you ever get to a point where you say to your child, I gotta let you learn this lesson on your own? Like there's some things about life right now that I'm incapable of teaching you, or that you're not willing to learn from me. So I either have to connect you to a resource that can teach you those things, or I have to allow life to teach you through example. What's up, Japan? Appreciate y'all in here. Do me a favor. We're the fastest growing family on YouTube, social media. I want y'all to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the family, where we have weekly family meetings over here in order to grow as a family, because we want to see more success come from our family tree. We want to see more success come from our family tree. But the question is, I mean, that's the question. How many chances do you give someone before you wipe your hands with that person and you say, you know what? I can't mess with this person no more. I can't do anything with this person no more. I can't, I'm done. I've done everything that I could for you. And yes, it may depend on the relationship and the closeness of that relationship. If it's your child, maybe you give them more opportunities. If it's your parents and you're an adult and they're a kid, I don't know. Maybe you do. But that's the question that life begs. How many opportunities do you give this person before you say this person isn't going to get it? And I think that life or someone else has to teach this person. We got to get to a point where, hey, what's going on? I can't see the name down there because of the glare. So, hey, what's going on? If you comment, I'll say hi to you. What's up? Appreciate y'all coming in again. do me a favor and go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the fastest growing family on YouTube. Would love for y'all to join the family, man. We have family meetings every single Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have family meetings. We would love for you to join us in that family meeting. You are going to work. I'm actually leaving work right now. I'm actually leaving work right now. But furthermore, how many opportunities do you give someone? And then also the next question or the next conversation that I wanted to have with them is centered around how our decisions affect more than just us. Because too many times these young men think that their decisions only affect them. And that's not the reality. Their decisions affect everybody else. And being able to talk, being able to communicate, being able to make choices, being able to have discretion, being able to critically think and problem solve. These are all things that these young men need to practice on a regular basis. We need to have our kids doing puzzles. We need to have our kids doing brain teasers and exercising that brain muscle. What's up, Canada? Appreciate y'all joining in again. Let's do your cousin a favor. I'm your favorite cousin backpack. I'm your favorite cousin backpack. All right. Everybody got a favorite cousin. Everybody got a favorite cousin. You might not admit it, but you definitely got a favorite cousin. And I'm your favorite internet cousin backpack. That's who I am. Family meeting. Um, but yeah, man. So that's what I wanted to come on here and say. I just wanted to come on here and just pose that question of how many chances, how many opportunities do you give someone? Because sometimes support is limited, right? Uh sometimes it's limited to, what we can do. So thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Think about that. Talk to me in the comments. Y'all go back and review the live, man. Favorite cousin backpack. I'm gonna see you at the family reunion. Family meeting. This is where it starts.